Right, we are at Fiumicino Airport. The last time I was here was in 2019 before the entire pandemic, which is absolutely insane. I can't wait to get back flying, and yeah, hopefully the flight goes well. And our flight departs around 9, and we're heading to Berlin Central in Germany. Very first time in the country, very first time in the capital city. It's one of those cities which you hear a lot in textbooks, especially if you're a teen at school, studying all communism and stuff. So actually being there will be amazing. So yeah, enjoy this because it'll be a good experience. Boom! And we're in Berlin, Alexanderplatz Tower, the television tower just up there. And yeah, we took a 25-minute train from the airport, which goes to the city center, and it's drizzling down with rain. It's typical German weather, I assume. But yeah, our hotel is in Alexanderplatz, and that is the tower up there. Stepped in Germany, almost about to lose the train. Right, this is our room, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently 3:30, 20-minute chill out break, because it's been a mental day. And then we're out exploring the city of Berlin. Right, so our hotel is the Royal Leonardo at Alexanderplatz, and I'll be honest with you, it's a very nice hotel. It gives you that tropical, that greeny vibe. There's a wellness area, so I'll definitely be going in that after these nights where I've been editing non-stop. But yeah, overall, really good hotel, and yeah, I've shown you the room already. Off we are. Olympiastadion, here we come. There we go. The sun is absolutely scorching today. 20-minute metro and stadium right in front of me. First impressions of the structure. It's absolutely appalling, to be honest with you. It looks like a gladiator arena, but never judge a book by its cover. Speaking about the history of the two clubs, now it's Hertha Berlin against Union Berlin. Hertha Berlin, which is the primary team in Berlin, like Roma, not Lazio, in Rome, is fighting to not get relegated. Union Berlin, on the other hand, which was born later, which was basically built by the workers in Eastern Germany, is fighting to get in a Europa League / Europa Conference League position. So the two teams in Berlin, unlike Roma and Lazio and Rome, have two very different objectives. Tours are available, very different kind of tours, changing room tours, stadium tours, press conference room tours, and yeah, we'll give it a go. They go on every day unless there's a match during the weekend, from 9 AM in the morning to 7 PM at night, and yeah, we'll see what the stadium offers. We wanted 3 tickets for the Hertha Berlin tour.
There's no tours today. The tours are already over.
Okay.
Yeah,
All the
so
tours?
No, all the tours, the guided tours. The only thing you can do is go in on your own individually.
Okay. Right, we're in. We couldn't get the guided tours because they were already over. Stadium is behind us, but you can still pay to get inside the stadium and get a self-tour. So you can go around the stadium by yourself. But just, you know, bear in mind that if you're coming here after a certain time, they will still allow you to get the tour, but without a guide and by yourself, which, to be honest with you, I mean, the guide was in German either way, so I wouldn't understand anything. Right. It's a very big stadium. It does remind me of the Olympic, I'm not gonna lie. Ground behind me. Yeah, it's really nice. Now, obviously, this stadium is where Hertha Berlin plays, but they do organize some like Olympic games over here. That's why you can see the athletics track behind. And if I'm not wrong, this is actually where Usain Bolt got his world champion. And yeah, look, we're getting a side view here. This is amazing. And that's where the fire gets lit up during the Olympic Games. Things I do for these videos is absolutely insane. We did it. 15 euros to get the Hertha Berlin scarf. I wanted to get the shirt, but 70 euros for a Hertha Berlin shirt. No offense to Hertha Berlin fans, but I'm not that willing to pay that. So, scarf will do. 15 euros. Good old memory of the stadium. It's our final goodbyes. Right, it suits me a lot. It does have Lazio colors, which is the only bad news. But yeah, just for the memories, we came out the stadium. Now, the stadium was great, very similar to the Olimpico. But I do need to honestly say that the 20 euros we paid for 3 people was a gimmick. We basically just wandered around the pitch. We didn't have access to the changing rooms. We didn't have access to the press conference room. We didn't have access onto the pitch. We basically stood there wandering around. It's good. It's a historic stadium. Jesse Owen won there in front of Adolf Hitler. Italy won the World Cup in 2006. Usain Bolt got the world records. It's a historic thing to see. But be careful with the 2 hours because it can result in a gimmick, if you see what I mean. Right, something which I've definitely noticed is the difference in architecture in East Berlin, ex-East Berlin, and old West Berlin. You can definitely see how big the buildings here, and in compared to the west side of this city, it's way more poor. Obviously, East Berlin followed communist ideologies. Therefore, that does mean that they were in a poor state. It is absolutely Baltic. Baltic, it's freezing. I've got Starbucks written all over me. So the sphere of the television tower actually rotates 360 degrees every hour, and a big luxurious restaurant is located on top of it. Look at that view behind me. It is absolutely amazing. Right, we're about to get into this museum, which is the DDR Museum, not Daniele De Rossi, it doesn't stand for that. It is actually an interactive museum, which it's all about how life was like in Eastern Germany during the Cold War. So very, very, very interesting, and it's very interactive as well. So we'll see how it goes. And we're off. This is what a kindergarten looked like in Eastern Germany, which is very, very interesting. Look at that, viewers. There you go. This is a cell prison. If the secret police of Eastern Germany caught you, you would be in here. I would enjoy it, to be honest with you. This museum really makes you understand how much Eastern Germany is closed, how much the state controlled it, how much the state controlled the schools, how much sport was important. because the state organized many sport competitions such as the Olympic Games, the World Cup between East Germany and West Germany, in which the captain was Beckenbauer. It really puts the perspective in a very interactive way. It provides scenes of like typical houses. It's a definitely must-do attraction if you're coming to Berlin. I would definitely recommend it. It's the DDR Museum, very interactive, and it just really puts to mind how much life in Eastern Germany, Eastern Berlin was really tough in compared to the West, which was way more open, to cooperations with the Western world, and it was way richer, and the state had less control of it. Hi. And we're off. We are at East Side Gallery, which is the remaining part of the Berlin Wall where most of the murals are located, and the very famous one where Brezhnev and the leader of Eastern Germany have a good old kiss. I'm in West Berlin, and I'm in East Berlin. Look at that river, canal, whatever you want to call it behind me. It does look like Amsterdam. However, don't come to the Berlin Wall in the morning. It is packed full of people. You can't have a possibility of taking pictures. It's impossible. It is just immense. So I'm on the western side right now, and the weird thing is that on that side of the wall, the western side, there are no graffiti, no murals, and on the other side, it's packed full of murals. But that means that there are more people. Trying the first ever currywurst, which is the most typical thing here in Berlin. Divine. If only I knew where I was right now, I'd probably be telling it to you guys. I have no idea where I'm currently in. Right, so there is this massive grass area, and then you turn around and the German parliament behind us. It's amazing. Now, you can go on top of the glass sphere, but that's the queue to get the tickets, and frankly speaking, I can still see the parliament from here. But yeah, you can go on top of it. There's transparent floors you can see underneath. It is a good experience, but it would at least take us 2 hours to get the ticket. So you know what? We'll enjoy like this. And we are here at the most famous monument in Berlin, the Brandenburg Gate. So we're currently in the Holocaust Memorial, which is all of these rectangles from different heights, different measurements, which kind of form like a labyrinth, to be honest with you, and just losing yourself in them just to think about everything which happened. What an experience. We just got verbally assaulted by a German lady employee in a bar. I'm gonna blame my poor knowledge of German because I was probably asking too much, but at a certain point she started saying everything possible she could and I did not understand anything. And I highly think she was just cursing in front of me. But yeah, very weird experience. We are now heading to Checkpoint Charlie, famous Checkpoint Charlie, which is the only way of access between East Berlin and West Berlin. Hi. So, I'm stranded in Berlin and I've got 1 hour to kill before going to dinner with my friends and my family. I've bumped across this thing called the Berlin Dungeon and I've seen something called the London Dungeon as well, so I'm not sure if it's a chain or something. It looks spooky from the outside. I'm really not too sure what to expect, but yeah, let's give it a go. I mean, I have 1 hour to kill, so we might as well do it. And I can't film. I'll sneak some footage and then I'll talk about it when I come out. So yeah, let's see what this is. Wow, that was intense. Right, I'm gonna start off by saying that I think my experience was way scarier because it was me and another girl. Like, we were in two, and it's basically like a haunted horror house which you find in theme parks, but it does have like a limit of education to it as well, because it's a horror house which is themed about Berlin's and Germany's history overall. So basically you saw some clips, but we made ourselves basically in the undergrounds, and you're constantly met by actors, like haunted actors, which basically, yeah, as I was saying before, make the experience a horror experience, but it's also educational, if you see what I mean. So it's basically a chronological order of history, so it starts off in the medieval and it ends around the 1960s, but it's like them teaching you about this long period of history using horror features. So there were actors, and more than a horror house in theme parks where you go around and you get spooked, the main objective of this is not to scare you, but it's to educate you while scaring you. So basically there are many scenes. There was the judge scene, there was a torture chamber scene, and yeah, these actors basically choose people from the crowd, which I assume it's bigger because it was me and a girl this time. So we took it in turns, and basically the crowd the actors choose you, and you basically interact with them in this experience. So for example, she got picked to do the judge scene and like get that spooky vibe. I got picked for the torture chamber, so basically I sat down in a chair Well, you know, something which I got wrong is that it was in German. So it was educational, but I didn't understand one single thing. The girl was German, so she understood it. I was going, yeah, sure. Yeah, I understand everything, but in reality I wasn't. However, there were also some rides in that. There was a water ride in the Berlin dungeon. So basically you get onto this boat, and it's actual real water. And it drags it slowly flows on this small river, and you've got all these actors sitting next to you. And then towards the end, after the judge scene, which is basically the last scene, there's a drop, like a drop tower, and I freaked myself out. Now, the scariest part is by far the end part for me, because as soon as you step off the drop tower, everyone thinks that like the entire attraction is over. But then a serial killer, which represents the history of the 1960s, chases you, and that by far got me. Overall, it's a great experience, very interactive, not recommended for young children. But however, in a city like Berlin, I do think you need to prioritize other things. We did most of the things today, and I had this 1 hour to kill. It's a 50 to 1 hour long experience. Depends on the actors you have, because obviously they change every time. Well worth it. It's about 25 euros, but I would prioritize other things. But very good. I was definitely not expecting that. It freaked me out. Wellness area. I want to see what it looks like. Let's have a quick sneak peek, because I am interested in going in the spa, wherever they have. So right, I see a door. Oh, you need the key. Right, I'll be back. Here we are. So, I've got a sauna in here. But apparently you need €2 to get in it. You've got water there, some towels here, and then I think you have a gym over here. They've got a few tools, got a massive view behind it, and yeah, he's enjoying life. Right, small but effective and rough. I'll definitely be coming here one of these days. Alcohol free, we're feeling German today. Bayern München. What's going on here, viewers? So something which I've definitely noticed in Berlin is how much the weather changes. 1 second it's a good temperature, I wouldn't say it's hot, but then the next second it's absolutely freezing, as I was saying in the first day. Trying the metro for the first time here in Berlin. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea where we are now. Genuinely have no clue where I am. This is actually what's really right. I see a door. Oh, great, it's a church. Wow, I need to get out of here.